This evening, traffic enforcement yields over 400 cases over the weekend. Venezuelan nationals arrested with 11,000 grams of narcotics near Demerara Harbour Bridge. National Assembly unanimously supports Guyana's territorial sovereignty amidst Venezuela dispute in the region. Donald Trump attacks judge during combative testimony in civil fraud trial. And internationally, EU seeks alternative delivery routes as it ramps up Gaza aid. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for November 7, 2023. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, in a unanimous show of support, politicians in the National Assembly affirmed the nation's position on sovereignty and territorial integrity regarding the Guyana-Venezuela border dispute. During a special sitting on Monday, a motion was passed to denounce Venezuela's purported referendum to annex the Essequibo region, emphasizing Guyana's unwavering commitment to international law and democracy. The motion was presented by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Hugh Todd, who noted that the sit-in represents a commitment to adherence to international law and democracy. The motion reinforces the acceptance of the 1899 arbitral award as a final resolution of the boundary between Guyana and Venezuela. It supports a peaceful and lawful resolution through the International Court of Justice. Guyana is confident that international law will prevail in the dispute and international support is appreciated.
We will not be afraid. We stand on principles. We stand on the right side of the law. Why should we be fearful? It is the Venezuelans who are fearful. They are fearful. We are not fearful. We are committed to this process, Mr. Speaker. We want to see it through to its logical conclusion. That is why we're here. That is why we're here united as a people.
These strong sentiments were echoed by Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal, and Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gil Tushira. Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai, in her contribution, pointed to the impact that Venezuela's claim to nearly two-thirds of Guyana's territory have on the indigenous people.
We are now a nation on guard more than ever. The threat that has been unleashed on our population should not be taken lightly. Our communities on the borders have been subjected to increasing intimidation by the evident buildup of Venezuelan personnel, military and other. If there was ever a time for unity in our country, it is now. To face and defend collectively this brazen act to deny us Guyanese of our rights to live within our agreed borders and to develop the resources of our entire territory.
Also delivering remarks were the Leader of the Opposition, Aubrey Norton, and Opposition Member of Parliament, Kemraj Ramjatan, Amanza Walls-on-Desir, Vincent Henry, and Roysdale Ford. Norton noted that Guyana should focus on boosting its defense force.
I want here to speak to the recapitalization of the Guyana Defense Force. We have always been a weak state. I don't think we can take on Venezuela. But it is very important that we keep a ready force that instills hope in our people. I remember in the 70s, we boasted about we were better than them in jungle warfare. Let us not operate as if we can do nothing outside of diplomacy. We have to take every measure to deal with this issue.
Given Venezuela's planned referendum, Guyana is approaching the International Court of Justice on November 14 to prevent the scheduled referendum and ensure both nations adhere to the ongoing judicial process at the ICJ. Meanwhile, two Venezuelan nationals are now in custody after police ranks busted them with 11,000 grams of narcotics in the trunk of a motor car they were traveling in at the western end of the Demerara Harbour Bridge on Monday, November 6. Acting on information received around 5:15 a.m., police ranks conducted a roadblock exercise on the western end of the Demerara Harbour Bridge, where motorcar PPP 1521 which was proceeding east with two Venezuelan nationals, 22-year-old Kevin De Sousa and 29-year-old Marcelino Marco, both of 66 David Street, Kitty, were stopped. A police corporal who was a part of the roadblock told the driver of his suspicions and requested to carry out a search on the motor car and the two occupants. A search on the person of both men revealed nothing illegal. However, a search of the motor car revealed 15 compressed parcels. The parcels, which were opened in the doors present, revealed a quantity of seeds, leaves and stems suspected to be cannabis. Both men were told of the offense committed, cautioned, and they remained silent. They were arrested and escorted to the La Parfait Harmony police station, along with the narcotics, which amounted to 11,000 grams when weighed. Both suspects remain in custody pending further investigation and charges. In other news, traffic enforcement operations conducted on Sunday, November 5th, have resulted in a total of 482 cases, according to official reports. Of these cases, a significant portion of 231 in total were related to speeding violations, while an additional 6 cases pertain to driving under the influence. The figures underscore the ongoing efforts by law enforcement agencies to promote road safety and crack down on traffic violations. Speeding, in particular, remains a common concern as it poses significant threat to road users. The large number of cases involving DUI serves as a reminder of the importance of responsible and sober driving to prevent accidents and save lives. These traffic enforcement measures are essential for maintaining order on the roads and ensuring the safety of all motorists. The authorities continue to emphasize the importance of adhering to traffic regulations and responsible driving behaviors to reduce road accidents and create safer roadways for everyone. Stick around when we return. Hinterland residents in Region 9 enhanced ICT skills, and police apprehended Berbice resident with contraband firecrackers in Cartron.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. Here's credit. And today, all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinate soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radical went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she wrote in even wrong. He shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home. We also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast,
Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Region 9 residents are sharpening their skills and knowledge through the Cohort 4 Information and Communications Technology Hub Managers Training provided by the Office of the Prime Minister. Participants will learn the fundamental and complexities of computers and their systems. During the 2-week session, participants will undergo theoretical and practical exercises in ICT management, including software development, network planning, and tech support, among others. While learning about computers and their proper function, participants can also teach and impart these skills to other villagers. The training program, offered at ICT hubs and facilities in North and Central Rupununi and Region 9, will also create new opportunities for hinterland residents by equipping them with advanced IT skills. The ICT Access and E-Services for Hinterland, Poor and Remote Communities program has seen the government construct fully equipped ICT hubs in almost all Amerindian villages nationwide. Additionally, the construction of ICT hubs aim to give hinterland residents equal opportunities as coastlanders, such as easy access to online information through efficient internet connectivity via Wi-Fi GY, another notable initiative by the Office of the Prime Minister. So far, about 100 hubs have been built, with over 50 already operationalized, with necessary amenities including free internet access. In other news, vigilant police officers on patrol in Sheet Anchor Village, East Canty Berbice, seized several contraband items found in a car trunk on Monday, November 6. The vehicle, a silver-colored motorcar PNN 5837, was being driven by a self-employed resident of Wim Village who reportedly exhibited suspicious behavior. Prompted by their observations, the police officers initiated a stop and approached the driver. They questioned the driver regarding the content of his vehicle, specifically inquiring about any illegal items. The driver initially denied having any contraband in his possession. A search of the vehicle ultimately led the officers to several boxes of squibs and firecrackers in the trunk. Subsequently, the driver was arrested and taken to the Central Police Station for further processing. At the police station, he was granted release on $20,000 station bail, pending the ongoing investigation into the matter. The items, which were alleged to be contraband, were seized and documented. Don't go away after the break. EU seeks alternative delivery routes as it ramps up Gaza aid, and global agri-food system hidden cost exceeds $10 trillion.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. How smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and Sleep Center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinate soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radical went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip. If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Former U.S. President Donald Trump lashes out at the judge as he testifies in his civil fraud trial. The former U.S. president has taken the stand in New York in his civil fraud trial. He is accused of lying about the value of his assets. Al Jazeera's Patty Kahan reports.
Outside a New York courthouse, protesters greeted the former president with signs warning that he is about to face some consequences. As Donald Trump arrived, the media watching from above and in the courtroom, a scowling Trump waiting to testify under oath. The New York Attorney General sued, saying the Trump organization inflated the value of its real estate to get better bank loans, arguing that earned the company $100 million and exaggerated Trump's wealth by $2 billion.
Before he takes the stand, I am certain that he will engage in name-calling and taunts and race baiting and call this a witch hunt.
A prediction that came true just moments later.
These are political operatives that I'm going to be dealing with right now. You have a racist attorney general who made some terrible statements.
Judge Arthur Engoron has already ruled that his company's financial documents were filled with fraud. The question now, what will it cost Trump, his family, and his company? While his adult sons, also his co-defendants, testified that their accountants were to blame, Trump acknowledged that he suggested some real estate values. Under questioning, Trump repeatedly fought with the judge, who will ultimately decide his punishment. The state wants him to pay $250 million in fines, and for Trump and his sons to be banned from doing business in New York, which could mean he would have to sell some of his most celebrated buildings. During a break, Trump motioned to be quiet, advice he may soon wish he took on the stand. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera.
Internationally, the European Union will increase its humanitarian aid for Gaza by 25 million euros. The additional funds, which were announced by European Commission President on Monday, will raise the bloc's aid fund for the bombarded enclave to 100 million euros. Al Jazeera's Paul Brennan reports.
It's more than a week since European Union leaders issued a call for aid corridors and humanitarian pauses in Gaza. And speaking at a diplomatic conference in Brussels on Monday, the EU's foreign policy chief lamented the lack of progress.
The unfolding tragedy in the Middle East is the outcome of a collective political and moral failure, which the Israeli and the Palestinian people are paying a high price for it. And this price will continue increasing if we refuse to see the situation as straightforwardly. This moral and political failure is due to our real lack of willingness to solve the Israeli-Palestinian problem.
Joseph Borrell suggested that Israel could suspend its military operation, which has killed 10,000 Palestinians so far, and in return, the Red Cross would get access to the captives held by Hamas. He said, call it a truce, a window, whatever, but we need that violence recedes and that international humanitarian law is being respected. Those calls were echoed by the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, who's announced a big increase in EU aid spending.
By doing so, the European Union would spend a total of €100 million in humanitarian aid for the civilians in Gaza. And at the same time, we are working with Israel, Egypt, and the United Nations to let more convoys into Gaza, including through corridors and pauses for humanitarian needs.
But Israel remains determined to destroy Hamas, whose October 7th attack left 1,400 people, mostly civilians, dead in Israel and saw over 240 people taken captive. But Joseph Borrell issued a warning, saying that overreaction by the Israelis in the end makes them lose the support of the international community. There is no military solution to the conflict, he added. Paul Brennan, Al Jazeera.
And finally, despite rising food prices, the actual cost of our food system is far higher, totaling at least $10 trillion per year, according to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. This hidden cost includes expenses related to health, environmental impact, and societal factors amounting to 10% of the global economy. Al Jazeera's Harry Fassett reports.
Rising food bills have hit household budgets around the world over the last couple of years, but this report says even these prices fall far short of the real cost of our food production system. The UN's Food and Agriculture Organization says such costs to health, the environment and society add up to at least $10 trillion a year, equivalent to 10% of global economic output. The report says the highest proportion of costs by far come in the form of poor health, with bad diets, high in ultra-processed food, fats and sugars, causing disease, obesity and losses in labour productivity. Environmental costs amount to a fifth of the total, greenhouse gas emissions and land and water use. The FAO says this is almost certainly an underestimate. And in developing countries, the costs fall largely on underpaid small-scale producers who can be blighted by poverty and malnutrition. So does this mean food prices have to rise further?
Because in some cases, these costs can just be avoided. It's not like if we want to, let's say, continue to have pollution and have a price for pollution or cleaning the water. In some cases, we can bring better technology that are going to reduce some of these costs.
This is the first of 2 annual reports on this subject. For now, the main recommendation is that governments undertake true cost accounting to factor in the full impact on their economies and societies of the global food industry. Action is likely to require regulation, taxation and subsidies to change what we eat and how it's produced. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Sip TV2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.